We have received your pandemic unemployment assistance application. To further process your claim, please provide proof of earnings for Uber and Lyft for the time frame listed on your application. It can be screenshots of your payments that you can view in the app. Please send the requested information within 20.
I was a childcare provider, and I lost both of my kids because their parents were no longer working or working from home. We're a family of 5, and now we're supposed to be living on $600 a week. It will take like 3 weekly unemployment checks just to pay our rent. Super frustrating. I mean, we've been married for almost 10 years and we've been saving up for a down payment for almost 10 years and been really careful about budgeting and how we're spending our money and being so careful with our expenses. And because of that, now like we can still pay our bills, but we're having to use all that money that we've worked so hard to save. Definitely really stressful and concerning what the future is going to hold right now.
I was in LA at the time. I had just started on Hamilton, working Hamilton in LA. And on March, I want to say it was 18th, we were informed that it was canceled. So I think doing this was probably the only way I could survive. Ever since I was 18, like I've been independent, and like obviously my family's always supported me, but they don't really have the means to do that financially. So like I paid my way through college. Like everything has been me. So it's so weird to be back here and living in my hometown, which I never thought I would do, and like looking for jobs here, and like it's not what I expected my life to be at this point. I've actually talked to like some coworkers about this who are in the same boat as me. Like, is there some way that we can just not pay into it anymore and then in the future we won't rely on it? Like, is that an option? Because we're all like so frustrated. I'm not the only one in this boat.
There is sitting on my desk right here a hospital bill. Right as the pandemic started, one of my, I have 2 sons. They're, our 2 oldest are twins. It's actually their birthday today. And one of them got hurt in late March, right as everything was starting to shut down, and had to go to the hospital and had to have an operation. And the bill for that has come. And it is literally just sitting a few feet from me there. And I'm waiting for that pandemic money to come. Like that's how we're going to pay for that. It's not an insubstantial bill.
Do you mind me asking how much that doctor's bill is that you're waiting on?
Many thousands of dollars. You have to assume that nothing's going to happen. You have to assume they're not going to help. Because if you plan too much on the assumption that the government will do their job, that's just no way to plan right now. The evidence on the ground would suggest you're on your own until you learn otherwise.
I actually got 2 checks. I got the check for the state and the check for the $600 federal weekly support. And then they just stopped. They just completely stopped, and I haven't seen a check since. So I have 18 outstanding checks, something on the order of like $12,000. It's incredibly challenging to be raising 5 children on 1 income. And we are really, I mean, my budget spreadsheet, you should see it. Like, we are tracking every penny that goes in and out of our pockets. The only reason why we are continuing to float like doggy paddle is because we were able to put the mortgage on forbearance. Yeah, that's the only thing keeping us from just falling apart financially. It's very challenging for me to want to send them back into a place where they can possibly expose the community to COVID so that I can have those few hours to maybe shoehorn in some contract work. You know, it just doesn't, it's a double bind. Like it's a catch-22. There's nowhere for us to go. There's no, like, I feel very backed into a corner.
In April, I drew up a chart that I shared with the city mayor that told that literally said by July 31st, I'll be $60,000 in debt if something is not done to support small businesses. If I had children and which I was going to adopt, but because of the circumstance that has been created, it's gone. Because if I don't apply this year, as you know, our system for adoption is like $40,000 to $60,000, and it takes years for someone to be allowed to become a parent. So yes, the government has robbed me of motherhood. Because of their stupidity, they have robbed me of motherhood.